Hello and welcome back to Ganesh Institute. In today's video, we are taking up a section from literature that is figure of speech. So let's get started. First up, what do we mean by figure of speech? Basically, figure of speech is a rhetorical device. Okay, rhetorical means when you want to, uh, you know, produce a specific effect using a language, but that too in a non-literal manner. Okay, that is in stylist form. It is a distinct way of telling a particular thing so that we can enhance the expression by appealing to imagination, emotion, more clarity, and you can see this all in poetry and all sort of writings, right? Now, what are the classifications of figure of speech? So you will see there are two basic classification. One is troops and another one is scheme. So troop means when meaning is based on, we are making changes based on meaning, but in schemes we have form based changes. What does it mean? So when we say troops, we the writing involves a deviation from the ordinary meaning. So it's not the literal meaning. Meaning is changed. Okay. It is because you want to create imaginative or symbolic meaning of something. Okay. But when we say schemes, scheme means deviation from the ordinary arrangement. Okay. Arrangement of what? Pattern of words. So you will find that it will it will affect the structure or sound of a sentence to enhance the rhythm, to emphasize something, and to provide the clarity. Okay? So here we are changing the form, wherein troops have different meanings altogether. Okay? Now comes the types. Very interesting. First figure of speech is simile. So you know that, for example, I'm writing here, she is as wise as an owl. So can you see? I'm comparing, or this person is being compared because of the wiseness, and we are using as or like. Okay? So when we compare two different things, one is human here, another one is owl, and the characteristics on the basis of which they are being compared is this property. So then we will say that simile device is used. Then we have metaphor. Now in metaphor also we have comparison, but here we have direct comparison, and we want to, create a level of understanding here. So we don't use like or as, we directly compare. For example, life is a journey. So it has a deep meaning. Life is compared with journey, two different things. And there is we are directly saying that life is journey. And journey means it is with highs and lows. It is tough as well as, we can make it as we want. So it has a different meaning altogether, right? So if you see, meaning is not changed, form is changed here. Okay, it is a scheme. Then what have we got? Personification. For example, if I'm saying the moon is smiled at me, so what are we doing? We are personifying moon, which is not a person at all, but we are giving human-like traits to a non-human thing. Then we call it personification. Moon is shown here as if it can smile. Okay. Then we have alliteration. Herein, let's say I'm writing here busy, buzzing bees. It sounds interesting, no? So what do you observe? You will see that it is the repetitiveness of consonants. Consonant sound is here. It creates, somewhat melodic effect. So again, meaning is not changed. Here only the arrangement is in such a manner. So it will also consider under the category of schemes. Okay. So B sound is repeated here. Next we have hyperbole. When we have hyperbole, we want to exaggerate something. For example, I'm starving to death. What does it mean? Does it have literal meaning? No, we are changing meaning here. It's just that that person is very, very hungry, right? So when we want to exaggerate something to emphasize, then it comes under this. Then we have onomatopoeia. It is imitation of sound. So we write the words as if they are the sound, literal sound. For example, you know, um, for example, if I'm writing the clock ticked loudly, and we know that clock has tick-like sound, tick, 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 right? So we are literally imitating, we are using that literal word, which is as same and it is mimicking the clock sound. So then it is onomatopoeia. Okay. Then we have oxymoron. Here we are we are having contradictory terms together. For example, you must have heard this phrase, deafening silence. Now we know that deaf means who can't hear, right? Of course, uh, deaf we can become because of the loud sound. Oh my God, this sound is so loud. It is creating that deafening effect. But here it is associated with or accompanied by another word which is silence, which is just opposite, right? For example, dark day. What is it? Day is day having daylight is accompanied here by dark, which is just opposite. So that is oxymoron, okay? Then we have pun. In pun, we want to create humorous effect and there will be a wordplay. For example, I am reading a book on anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. So what does it mean? It is anti-gravity. That means against gravity. The book is on anti-gravity and we are using put down word for it. That it is impossible to put down. Put down means what? To stop reading. I'm reading it. It is that interesting that I can't put down. Yeah, I can't stop reading. But isn't it humorous because we are using put down for anti-gravity. Anti-gravity means up against gravity, and put down is down, which is giving it a humorous wordplay, you see. Then we have anaphora. Here, we just repeat a few lines. In the beginning of lines, you will see repetition. For example, we are here, we will fight, we will win. So just to put the emphasis, okay, again, meaning is not changed here. It has literal meaning, only the arrangement of words. So you'll see that we will is repeated. So anaphora. Then we have irony. You must have heard about this. Basically, whatever meaning we are having, it intends opposite. Opposite of the intended meaning. What does it mean? For example, you must have seen somewhere written contrast between appearance and truth. How? There is 12th NCRT. There is a chapter in it where there is a person, Sahib-e-Alam. You know what does it mean? The meaning of this name. It's the God of the universe. But the character he plays is of the role is of rag picker. So can you see the contrast? It's just opposite. Or we can say if we use sarcastic thing, what an irony. We are saying what a pleasant day, sarcastically. But actually it is a stormy day. Also make sure that if this sort of thing, we are saying that the name God of universe and rag picker is just opposite, and he's feeling it. I mean, this statement is self-contradictory. Sahib Alam is self-contradictory, not just contradictory, and it is, you know, it is true as well. He is undergoing poverty, he's facing that poverty, and name is something else. It can also be considered as paradox. Okay, in irony, we have opposite. Again, truth is not there, but it appears to be truth. Okay, so there is a slight difference between irony and paradox. All right, what an irony? You can consider this example in it, that a person who is pretending to be kind in social environment is not at all kind at his home. What an irony, okay? Because it is not truth, not truth that he is kind. That's an irony. Then we have antithesis. Here we have opposing ideas in the same sentence. Okay? Now, what does it mean? For example, I'm writing speech is silver. You must have heard about this. Speech is silver, but silence is gold. Right? A famous saying. Can you see? Both silver and gold are being used here. These are just opposite. Okay? In the same sentence, we are using two opposite things to present two different ideas. This one is for speech, this one is for silence, and it is showing that silence is better. because it is gold. And that's why it is compared with gold, because gold is better than silver. Yeah? So antithesis. Two opposite make one sentence to have the comparison, okay? Then we have apostrophe. Here we are addressing to someone. I mean, the writing is addressing to someone who is not present at all in the picture, who is maybe absent, maybe he's no more or non-living. For example, I mean, that thing cannot respond, but still we are talking. For example, oh death, where's the thing? Where's this thing? So this is apostrophe. Speaker is talking to death, which is, not possible. It cannot respond and it is not there. I mean, you know, it is not living. Then we have circumlocution. Here we are just beating around the bush. Like we are talking in circles. It is like a roundabout way. Basically, writer is using extra words to describe simple thing. Okay? It is just, you can say, a wordy description. For example, he is making her confused by using long roundabouts things instead of straightforward commands. Can you see here? Writer could have easily mentioned that he is confused by her because of lack of straightforward command, but it is like long roundabout things. So using extra words to simply define things, okay? That is circumlocution. Next, epigram. Basically, it is a short, witty saying, but it has a twist in order to make the statement memorable. For example, no one can harm you without your consent. So it is basically having deep meaning, and it is a saying, and it has a twist without your consent. That means you are lying, that person, right? To come into your zone and tell you that this is not a good thing about you, or you can feel harmed because of those things which that person is doing, but you are lying. So it is like saying with a to make it a memorable statement, okay? Euphemism. When we have euphemism, it is basically there's an unpleasant thing, but in order to beautify the writing, you don't want that to sound like an unpleasant. So you have used maybe polite expression, okay? For example, instead of saying he died, you said he passed away. He aborted to heaven, right? This is euphemism. Then we have litotes. Here, basically, we are using negative to make positive. For example, she is not unkind. So can you see? It is literally she is kind. For example, she is not wrong. So one negative, another negative, you are using two negatives to make it positive. Yeah? So this is Litotes. Then we have metonymy. Here you are using, the one word is there which is substituted with something closely related. Okay, it's just, writer wants to have that variability in description. For example, we sometimes call a person who is so melodramatic, maybe who is trying to imitate actor or actresses. She's so Bollywood, we call it, no? Now, Bollywood has some different meaning, but we are using it symbolically here to characterize that person, to show that character. So that's how, in order to have that variability in the line, the sentence, in the description. So all those things that she's so melodramatic, she's over dramatic, she's maybe her dressing sense is so classy or so cool. We have clubbed everything together in Bollywood, okay? Then we have paradox. We talked about it, right? It is self-contradictory statement, but unlike irony, it is true. For example, I told you about Sahib Alam. Also, you can less is more. So less and more are self-contradictory, but it has a deep meaning, right? It makes sense philosophically that, contentment is there. It's enough. Then there is pleonasm. Here, again, more words are used than necessary. For example, those superfluous things. If somebody says, I saw it with my own eyes. Now, of course, everybody, if you saw it, then of course your eyes are being used. But telling these words, this set of word is literally superfluous, extra, obvious and extra, okay? So this is pleonasm. Then we have synecdoche. You can say synecdoche. Now this is a part that represents the whole, okay? For example, all hands on deck. All hands on this project. So, all hands means help from team members. So, this hand word is being used to present all of the team members. Yeah, hands refer to people, not just hands. Okay, so it has no literal meaning, it has different meanings. So, this will come in true. Correct? Is it clear? Then we have understatement, as the name suggests. It is like we are intentionally, the writer is intentionally downplaying. It is opposite to exaggeration. So you are expressing something as less than it is, okay? For example, if somebody is saying, oh, it's just a scratch, but actually he has got 18 stitches. right? So it's, of course, not just a scratch, but it is an understatement, right? It minimizes the seriousness intentionally. I'm hoping that figure of speech is clear to you. We have talked about what is figure of speech, how they are classified into troops and schemes. Now you can try classifying all these 21 figure of speech into troops and schemes on your own and see. If you want to comment, you can comment. And if you like this video, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Till my next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.